What's good, Watch the Commander fan? All right. Today is Sunday, February the 4th, and here on our Sports Media a week of Commanders football, starting with Dan Quinn being hired as the new head coach. I was about to say defensive. We all know Dan Quinn's background from the Legion of Boom in Seattle, which some thought that he was going to go back to Seattle, where he pretty much started his career under Pete Carroll. But that didn't take place. Instead, the Seattle Seahawks end up hiring what the defense was going to look like in Baltimore next year, because the fact that Anthony Weaver, I think he got hired also by another team. But as I stated, that Dan Quinn, he is the ex-defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He was a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons during the time they lost 28 to ball to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick as the Patriots. But some speculate that with Dan Quinn's departure from the Dallas Cowboys, Mike Vrabel could take his place over there as the defensive coordinator. Don't know. But Dan Quinn, some say, was a reach move by the Commanders, because the fact of the matter is that the Commanders lost out on Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, Mike McDonald was not going anywhere but to the Chargers. That was the link the whole time. The team is already put together. He just have to tweak a little bit more, bring in his own people. And the fact of the matter is, you got a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert that's already in place. With the Commanders, we don't have that right now. And it's going to take a person to build this franchise. And as we have seen throughout 20 something plus years. So there's a lot of hesitation on a lot of coaches' part. I still think that the Commanders are in a good spot, because the fact of the matter is they are going to be able to build a roster, build it the right way. But it's, like I said, it's going to take a special person to do that. And I do think Dan Quinn is that guy. I don't think Belichick would have been that guy, because he won too much power. I don't think right in Tennessee throughout the years. So that Tennessee never improved. They got rid of AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry is a little bit, and their quarterback selection is not good. So I think Dan Quinn resume shows, because he came from a winning program. He actually, like I say, everywhere he went, he won. Now, I understand a lot of people wanted Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson didn't want us. And there's so many reports going out about Ben Johnson, and you did he interview well, and all of this, and now comes out saying that Ben Johnson didn't want to come to us because our ownership group is bad. They don't. Ben Johnson, newsflash, my friend. Nobody gives a shit about what you think, because if you really want to prove to them that you are the guy for the job, but instead you took your tail and took your ball and went home and went back to Detroit and say, "Oh, I want to win a title here." Well, good luck with that, because y'all, the closest y'all had to winning a title. But I think Dan Quinn is exceptional. People ding him for. I mean, he did got Dallas the number 3 defense in the league this year. The only thing is they didn't have interior pass rush up front, with something that Washington has with Jonathan Allen and the Mathis. I think Famil Mathis could come out and have a breakout season under Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn will be able to put his stamp a better way. I think Dan Quinn has in. Now he did have great defensive ends and good defensive ends and linebackers, and they lost the game, but it wasn't solely on him. But nevertheless, I still believe Dan Campbell, I mean not Dan Campbell, but Dan Quinn will come to Washington and install his philosophy in Washington, show these guys what it is about winning, compete at a high level, and win some games. Now, one thing about Dan Quinn, he knows how to build a staff. That's the one thing people has to realize. He knows how with Kyle Shanahan, who really didn't get recognized until then because he was at Cleveland. Nobody knew him just by his daddy name. Now look what Mike LaFleur was on there. Mike McDaniel was on there. Some other guys was there. There was a slew of people on that roster at that time. Dan Campbell was in a position to get. Now, I did hear when he was interviewing with Seattle that Dan Quinn wanted Chip Kelly. He wanted him as a package deal. I know Chip Kelly wants to get back in the NFL. And who knows who's going to be the offense coordinator. Now, some saying, give Eric Bieniemy the offensive coordinator job, but that ship has sailed. Eric Bieniemy hurt himself. I don't want to hear anything about Eric Bieniemy, about him getting a head coaching job or him staying with the Commanders. He threw all of that away. You know what I'm saying? Because he came in there, yeah, he's hard-nosed, but then you come here instead of learn the personnel, and you could have been a tough, a hard-nosed. These guys does best, kind of like play, help them achieve better better play, in the game. But he didn't do that. They pretty much at the same time. It's what it is. So my thing is I think Eric Bieniemy, he did interview for the head coaching job. They're not gonna give it to him, and likely he's not gonna be there. And most likely he might not have a job, to be honest with you, because Dan Quinn is pretty much gonna hire or he's gonna hire Kliff Kingsbury, who is and that he's one of the top candidates. And I'll get to Kliff Kingsbury in a minute. But like I said, Dan Campbell is I think, a better fit. Some say, he's Ron 2.0. His success rate is way better than Ron Rivera's. Way better than Ron Rivera's. And into his liking, where you went to the first year, you draft a quarterback, then actually add more pieces and buy. I say by the time the second year, Washington this year, but I think by the second year, you could probably talk about Washington being in the playoffs and making a deep run. Hell, if the Washington Commanders get into the playoffs this year, then you could look doing this team together the right way. And this is something that just glad that they hired him, because he is but he's not like Ron Rivera. He's not passive. He's going to demand a lot from his players. Rivera for defensive coordinator job. He's asked to me, but that's their choice. So now I'm gonna move on to the offensive coordinator standpoint. Like I spoke earlier, that the Commanders are looking into adding an offensive coordinator under under Dan Quinn. Now a lot of Gary could be at under that Shanahan tree, Brian Greasy also. So I mean, I think Kubiak is most likely about to get hired. No, I think he's in the process of being hired by the New Orleans Saints. So he's but a lot of people know that Washington is going to be plucking because Adam Peters, he's from he's from Patriots, the Broncos, and the 49ers tree. Now, if he brings Brian Greasy over to be the quarterback's coach, then that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Has something, but who knows what Dan Quinn wants? Who knows who Dan Quinn wants on his staff? Now, I do know that, and I just need to say this for everybody out into the Washington community and all on Twitter and X, whatever. Stop with the Kingsbury, Caleb Williams BS, man. Chicago is not trading the number one Williams. Caleb Williams is not going to fall for two. Be thankful that we gonna get a franchise point because Kliff Kingsbury get the job. Period. I'm sorry. He's going to be interviewed. Yeah, he did back out the Raiders job. But that does not mean say, well, okay, he's a top candidate. He's coming to Washington. Oh, here we go. For Caleb. Hell, Jaden Daniels and Drake May just as good as fucking Caleb Williams to me. And I can't stand people keep throwing Caleb Williams up in our face like he's the answer for us. He's a reckless quarterback, to be honest with you. He needs to learn how to be able to pass efficiency from the pocket. All that Patrick Mahomes comparison, Patrick Mahomes have redefined his game. And guess who he has to thank for that? Tom Brady. Because now Patrick Mahomes don't have to win the game on his shoulder. We need that version of a quarterback than some kind of reckless ass. Patrick Mahomes did learn, and he has gotten better as a quarterback. That's why he's the best quarterback in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? Coming here to prove like he could be Patrick Mahomes. There's only one Patrick Mahomes. Be Caleb Williams. I want Jaden Daniels because I think Jaden Daniels is not knocking Drake May. I think they both are teeth and come in and understand. To me, Caleb Williams. Yeah. So, but if Kingsbury do come, then I'm sure Dan Quinn gonna have an input about what quarterback or who they gonna like at that time. You know what I'm saying? That's just the irony of the whole situation. Now Chip Kelly's a different breed because I think all these coaches want to get out of college because of the NIL, the transfer portal situation, and Chip Kelly wants to get back in. He'll make a great offensive coordinator. And I honestly believe it's going to be Chip Kelly in the end. I think it's going to be Chip Kelly to be on that staff with because you think about this. Chip Kelly, Dan Quinn, two older guys, probably both of them in their 50s. Dan Quinn, actually, I don't want to throw my age out there, but damn, I'm older than Dan Quinn by 2 years. But don't look it. You get two older guys putting their philosophy, understanding the game a little bit better. Now, even if you bring a young, innovative offensive coordinator, that's fine. Even if you bring Kingsbury or you bring Brian Greasy over to be quarterback coach, you still have somebody young in your staff. Then your defensive unit, you know what I'm saying, is going to work itself out. You just need a quarterback that's not going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying, not going to hurt the game, not going to throw interceptions. Because your offense is turning the ball over, that shit don't mean nothing for that defense because they're going to be on the field too long and they're going to get tired and they're going to get worn out. Now, also, but I still think that they need to look at Brian Hartline as the other OC that's with Ohio State. Don't know his fate right there. He do have ties with Terry McLaurin over there in the interview. To me, I think Brian Hartline could be a better choice than Kingsbury or Chip Kelly. But either one of these guys is going to be phenomenal because you're going to put into a system that's going to maximize these guys' ability a little bit. I want a passing game that just run the ball as much as well. You know what I'm saying? So now for the other reporting news today is about what's his name? Joe Whitt Jr. Now, supposedly Dan Quinn is interviewing him and most likely bringing him over. Now he is the he looks like he's going to most likely jump from Dallas to Washington to be the defensive coordinator under Dan Quinn. So they have a defense coach, and you're gonna have the guy that was over there. They work together, and they're going to put a team together. Be surprised that Al Harrison comes over there on 2020 with Atlanta under Dan Quinn, and when Quinn was hired as the Dallas Cowboys defense coordinator. Glenn Whitt followed him there, also reuniting with Mike McCarthy, and that Mike McCarthy bring him over there. You know what I'm saying? And then you could get to unlock the talent on this position, especially St. Jude, Derek Forrest back. You got Cam Pearl going to be there. You got all these guys. You got Quan Martin, all of these guys. Then you're going to be able to draft some extra pieces to go along with this depth. It'll be pretty interesting to see. Me personally, I'm not going to get too excited about this. I'm in a wait and see approach this year because I don't want to get myself hyped like I was last year. I just want to see results. I just want us to take down analysis of game and see what we did well, see what we did well, then approach and break down the game this year. Not being like, oh, you see this, we about to do this. Nah, I'm not about to do none of that. I'm just going to dissect the game, what we could do better, what we could add here and there, and then, give out some good bulletin for the game, win or lose. So yeah, so that um hopefully that Washington Washington start getting back on the win ways. But if we win more than that, hey, I take it. I'll take it any day of the week. Also, so um, also on another news point, nobody really been talking about this too much, is the RFK Stadium bill. Now, JP Finley put out also that the bill is moving through the House, and 90% um, it will pass, and then it will need another 70% by the Senate by March to pass, also to get it done. Now, this is good news because now, even though the Josh Harris is doing renovations and putting a lot of structure and stuff in place for the FedEx Field, to bring it back to life a little bit after Dan Snyder destroyed it. I do believe that this move to get the RFK Stadium back will be really beautiful out to a dome, not an open field, where they could be able to host concerts and have the Super Bowl there in DC. But I think it's a great move, a great overall move by not in Maryland, not in Virginia, even though training camp is in Virginia. I hope they move training camp a little closer, on at least on the outskirts, like 20 minutes away, or probably 20 minutes away. So but anyway, I think it would be, like I said, I think it would be a great move. Now, I know I probably in this video right here, but I do want to caution people is that do not get over hype about Kliff Kingsbury and all of this stuff about Drake, Caleb Williams. We did that with Ben Johnson, and you see how that turned out. He's talking trash, whether he didn't interview well or whatever the case would be. I really don't care. I just want this team to win, and I'm not gonna get all hype up and now we need to just do this. I'm not messing up my draft with number 2 just for Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams was falling to us, then that's fine. We draft him. I'm not giving the Bears and draft picks to build a squad while we trying to build our team back up. I think Drake May or Jaden Daniels my preference, and I think they would be well held coach and electrifying guys behind Kingsbury held for the Commanders. But I'm not going to sell the mortgage just for some Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even if the Patriots came to Washington and said, hey, I want to move up for Drake May, and then Washington doesn't pick Drake May and they stay at 2, or they could trade back and say, well, can we trade back? Y'all move up, and then we could get more picks from the Patriots. Then that would work. But like I said before, I do believe Chicago is going to pick Drake May, and all these reports about Drake May saying that he don't want to go to Chicago. You got Colin Cowherd out here saying that, and I don't even like listen to Colin Cowherd because he sometimes or pro football talk because they just put out stuff all the time and don't know what the hell they be talking about half the time. If I ain't heard from Adam um, so yeah, so gonna sell the farm just for one guy. I don't care who coached him. So, but it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy that I feel like people just want to Drake make Keller Williams just get Keller Williams. I don't want Keller Williams like that. Don't want him like that. So, but anyway, I just think that the Washington Commanders, right? All these fans, these Commanders fans is just so emotional to this process and start getting mad because the what you expect them to do, they here to necessary. So because we didn't get Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Pluto too. Who cares at this point? Is to give Dan Quinn a chance to show what he could do. We've seen his body of work. And then we want to give somebody like Airbnb the opportunity when he really hasn't, because he won 2 Super Bowls. If he didn't win 2 Super Bowls, will we be even talking about Airbnb? Now, don't need to be retreaded like Ron Rivera, poor coaching record, but he does. Bill Belichick, the winningest coach of all time, his time is past. Yeah, we got Airbnb. It's up to him if you want it. It's not. I just don't think regardless of what went on over there, he had total control of the offense. Didn't help. Didn't went to Ron Rivera one time and said, "Hey, we need to improve the offensive line. We need to protect Sam Howell." But at the same time, Sam Howell got sacked half a century times, and you want the offense to the offense just exploded like nothing. Come on, man. And if you think Sam wasn't ready, Airbnb, you should have told Ron Rivera, "I'm ready. Let's roll with the guy until we see that he's ready." Boom, you could have saved Sam Howell the humiliation throughout the year. So me personally, and another thing I need to touch on too before I close out. Everybody keeps saying build the team around Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell just as well as I like y'all do. But to me, Sam Howell is not the answer. He's too short. He needs a lot to be built around him for him to succeed. And you don't want to spend so much resources building up a quarterback that's not going to take you anywhere. That's just like Dak Prescott for Dallas and Kirk Cousins. You could put all the talent around it, but if the guy ain't the guy to get you to where you need to go to, I don't care how smart he is. I don't care how quick he learns. It's all about damn execution. And his execution is not good on the field. So, with that being said, y'all Commander fans have a great Sunday. I'll drop some more video. Oh, matter of fact, I will be dropping in tomorrow because Dan Quinn's press conference is I think at 2:30 tomorrow. So I'll be tapping into that. But until then, stay blessed. Keep yourself safe from everything, and go Commanders. We out.